Today on Business Success and Six with Stacie, I have Bonnie Denso here from The Private Bar Services in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Bonnie, thanks for jumping on with me.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You do something, you bring a lot of joy to people and help people really create or have a luxurious experience. And I would love to talk about The Private Bar Services if you don't mind. Is that okay?
Absolutely, let's do it.
All right. When people ask you how you describe The Private Bar Services, how do you describe your business?
Sure. So I describe it as a private bartending service for people who do private events at their homes, private residences. I also do events at private properties for individuals as well. And where I differentiate from other services that are like mine is I have my tagline of luxurious hospitality, gracefully served libations. And that means that I want to deliver an over the top, memorable experience for not only the host, but for all the guests as well. Really, my role in my business is to take the pressure off the host. A lot of times I run into clients who are the hosts of the events and they say, well, I get stuck talking to the same people for 10 minutes. Then I forget to make a drink for this person. And then I forgot I ran out of stuff. So my business is to take that over, have you entertain your guests on a one-to-one basis while I take care of the drinks, make sure people's hands are full, make sure that they are enjoying themselves, having drinks that match the environment that you're hosting in. A lot of my events are done at some pretty expensive homes in the Lake Country area, and I want to deliver the same drink and cocktail and mocktail experience that you're getting walking into somebody's home like that. So that's what my business does and how I
That's so cool.
like.
Yeah, I appreciate that a lot just because, as we get busier, our lives get busier and we want to have these special people over to our house, these guests, it's hard to be able to connect with them and be the server at the same time. So you take that stress out of there. And I really value what you're doing. And you also mentioned in there mocktails. So this isn't just like, tell me a little bit more. So if if your customer, hires you, and do they have all the stuff there? Do you bring the stuff? Do if you're making mocktails, do you know like what's going on there? Talk a little bit more.
Sure. Sure. So I have a culinary background, a culinary degree from WCTC in Milwaukee, and that's mostly where my creativity comes is flavor profiles, making creative new drinks, but also executing it in a way that's beautiful and goes with the environment. So the mocktail making is really on a trend upward with a lot of the younger groups, but also when I talk to my hosts, they say, well, let's come up with a mocktail that I don't want my friends and family who aren't drinking to feel like they're left out. So let's make it an experience where they can enjoy it as well. So I bring in that culinary aspect of it, and I'll do stuff that's like florally because that's kind of the in thing, like the botanicals and florals. Or I can just do, something basic with some muddled fruit or some herbs in there and such as mint and basil and whatnot. And that just takes it up a little level so that they're still getting a unique custom made drink for
Yeah.
them just as much as somebody's getting a cocktail with alcohol in it.
Absolutely. I think that's really special too, just because it's not fun to always just hold this bottle of water, this cup of water, but not everybody wants to drink. Somebody's got to drive, somebody has to have that responsibility. So I think that was really important. And then when you get there, do you bring most of the mocktail and cocktail ingredients, or do you have the host have that prior?
That's an excellent question. My business does not carry a liquor license, so I do not provide any liquor. But what I do provide is a walkthrough with the host at their home prior to the event. And we'll discuss and put a list together, kind of an inventory list, so to say, based off of my experience and how much people typically drink at events. And we'll walk through what the popular spirits are, what the popular wines are, beer choices, and that's on the host to provide. But what I do is with those custom drinks is I'll provide the simple syrups or all the mixers. I do all the detailed stuff, your bev napkins, your straws, your garnishes,
Oh.
anything like that. And if glassware needs to be rented, I work with a provider to do that for the guests.
Okay, so you guys create the menu together. If there is certain spirits that they need to get, they can get them, and then you bring everything else. And you really, this is planned out. This isn't something where you just show up and say, "Hey, it's vodka tonic night" or whatever, you know. So
Yeah.
very neat, very special. My next question for you, thanks by the way for answering that, because I really want people to understand, you know, why you provide this luxury service and how you can make their experience just absolutely fabulous. So thanks for answering those
Yes.
extra questions. What were your plans when you started your business and how have things changed? I know that you've been in the hospitality industry for almost 25 years now, and recently you decided you came up with this to really give people this incredible experience. So let's just talk about like your business a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So the business was born out of I have a past experience in catering for private aircraft clientele, which is a very niche market, but demanding.
Mhm.
But I loved that. I loved exceeding the expectations. I loved never saying no to a guest. If there was something somebody wanted, no matter how bizarre it was, we figured out a way to do it. And I always wanted to keep that standard and bring it into my own idea.
Mhm.
So since I've been bartending and I got out of the restaurant world in January of 2023, it just came to me one day, like, why don't I do a unique, experience utilizing those talents and those skills that I acquired being in the private aircraft
Mhm.
arena. And so that's where the idea and the plan started with my business was I want to continue giving that great hospitality experience to people who really appreciate it. And then it just was supposed to be a side gig and has quickly morphed into something that I'm so proud to say that I'm continuing to grow month after month right now. And everybody I talk to is like, everybody needs a bartender like you. We need a preferred bartender to do our gigs. So it's really, that's how it started was I just always loved having that, giving that unique experience to people.
Yeah. I've got to imagine that's like you almost get like you thrive or a thrill off of like the challenge of, oh, this person's might be tough, but I can exceed their
Oh
expectations and
yeah.
feel awesome, right?
Yes, yes. It is really good feeling. And it's, no challenge. I haven't really faced anything that I just am like, no, I can't do that. Like, there's a solution to everything. You just have to find it and then work with the host to make it come to life.
So cool. So what is the biggest way that you're impacting the community? I know this is this is a newer business, so and you're getting out there. Tell me a little bit about it.
Sure. So the biggest way right now that I'm impacting the community is building relationships. My past is mostly in like the Pewaukee, Oconomowoc area of Lake Country, but I'm in Waukesha. I've lived in Waukesha for the past 8 years. And now that I have the opportunity, I'm really trying to get myself involved in the community with building relationships. I do some work personally with some nonprofit organizations, as well as I do networking around the area with folks. And it really is starting off small and just those pieces are building and building. And eventually, I'd like to give back even more. I'd like to help females and female entrepreneurs, or just females that have an idea and want to bring it to life. That would ultimately be what I want to do with the community. But right now it's just building relationships with those around me. And, I live in Waukesha and that's what I want to do is kind of be here as a hub to grow that community outreach.
Beautiful. Yeah. And it all begins and ends with relationships, right? So it's an
Hmm.
important thing. Very good. So what is one challenge that you have faced so far that other business owners could learn from?
Sure. So since we have established that this is a newer business, I would say that my biggest challenge so far was taking an idea and turning it into something tangible. I think as newer entrepreneurs, we sometimes can get stuck in the idea phase of
Mhm.
things, and I definitely was in that phase for probably years before pulling the trigger on doing this.
Yeah. Well, congratulations. That's scary, right?
Oh my gosh, it is scary. And to piggyback on scary, the biggest challenge I think as well is you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable
Mm-hmm.
and talking about yourself and your business, because it's more than just, putting something on Facebook, but it is a lot of the community. It is connecting with others. It is doing all these things where you have to start, putting yourself out there. And for me, in my newer steps of this business, that was a big challenge that took me a while to get over.
I love that you talk about that, getting uncomfortable. We actually, so our team meetings every Monday, we talk about comfort challenge zones, and we want to make sure we're challenging ourselves and getting out of our comfort zones. So that's really, really important. And if, for example, a lot of people don't like the word sales, but everybody's in sales, and you have to be able to ask for the sale, or what's going to, what are you questioning that is, holding you back from actually doing this? And that's super uncomfortable to ask.
Hmm.
But when people ask those questions, more times than not, you'll actually get the results that you want. So I love that you brought that up. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely.
My next question for you is, what does the future look like to you? And do you have an exit plan? How big do you want this business to grow?
Absolutely. So I do have a goal of being the premier luxury bartending service in southeastern Wisconsin. That's as far as I've gotten. I It'd be awesome to see something replicable
Yeah.
down the road, but right now I just want to be top of mind with the people that are okay with spending the type of money to get the experience that they want, that they desire. And that's my goal, is to have a team of people. It excites me to know that my vision and my passion can create jobs and opportunities for others. I think that's pretty neat. And so when I can't wait to get to that point where I can have a team and we can build and grow together. So that's really the future of it, is to kind of be top of mind with the people that are okay with spending the money on a really outstanding experience.
So cool. Yes, I love that you have that vision there. And even from a social responsibility point of view, like hiring people and being able to provide jobs, that's huge that you have that. So my final question for you today is, all subjects open, what inspires you most?
Sure. I have to say a big inspiration for me is other female entrepreneurs. I get really motivated when I hear challenges they've faced and overcome, and how they've adapted in times of crisis. And I love how businesses have adapted since COVID. That really sticks out for me as far as resiliency in your business model and what you can do. So that inspires me a lot. My creativity inspires me. Like, I just love seeing something and then practicing it and putting it together, and then knowing that I can offer that service or beverage look or experience to people. So putting that together, and ultimately what inspires me is my vision is coming to life, which is crazy. It's an interesting process to have something in your head, and now it's tangible, and you're doing it and you're seeing it, and you're hearing people talk about your logo, or you're hearing people like, oh, I heard about you. And it it's really inspirational to keep going.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's that roller coaster of those great feelings, and then making sure that you can keep your mindset at a spot where you're not going low, and just focusing on those highs. Oh, the logo, oh, the experience, oh, this. So congratulations on this awesome, awesome business that you're creating for yourself and for others. So if somebody wants to get in touch with you, Vani, to use your services, to connect a little bit more, what's the best way for them to do so?
Sure. I can be reached either on my website, email, or by phone. So the website is www.vprivatebar.com. And then if they want to email me directly, it's Vani with a V at vprivatebar.com, or my cell phone, my work number is 262-477-3120.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time, for providing joy and awesome drinks and mocktails for everybody in Lake Country, Milwaukee County, Ozaki County, and all around you. Bonnie, take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.